What's up guys, this is Nick at Stridewise.com in New York City, where boot season has well and truly kicked off, and Stridewise is where we look at casual, durable men's stuff, mostly boots. And so because it is the start of the boot season, I have a very modest 8 or so boots that I need to unbox and get wearing so I can tell you guys my thoughts on them. Some of these I've never seen before, some of them I know exactly what's going to be inside the box, some of them are very, very weird, some are very classic. I put one of the most striking at the end of this list just to keep you around, but my favorite one, the one I'm most excited about, I'm just going to open now because I've been really excited to get my hands on this, because this is my very first collaboration boot that I made with a brand called Caswell. It is extremely hard to find a boot made with wild boar leather, and that is what I've spent over a year putting together with Caswell Bootmakers, a small brand based in DC. I'm so excited about this because wild boar, it's a horrible animal, so I really like the idea of making a boot with leather made from an animal that you should be pretty excited to kill. They're not native to the US, just like me, I guess. I'm here legally though. And the government loves having me here. No one likes having wild boars in the US. They are vectors for disease. They ruin the topsoil wherever they are. Wherever they are, they lower biodiversity. In addition to being a terrible animal, it's a tough leather once you make this shoe, but it's unbelievably hard to work with. It's like very oily. It doesn't take to lasting well. The hair in wild boar is like very thick and coarse and hard to pull out. So it's just hugely hard to do. We went through like 3 different factories trying to get them to make these boots, but eventually we managed to get a really good wild boar leather from Ed at Gallon Leathers here in the US. So Ed works with like a hunting group who collect boar hides because people get hired to exterminate these terrible pests of terrible, terrible animals. And after a lot of work, we got a leather that is pretty nice and malleable. It's a really nice boot. It's unbelievably tough, of course. And above all, you are saving your country when you buy these boots. So it's leather midsole, leather insole, leather counter, which is pretty rare. A lot of brands use elastic for that. Also, I made the lining pigskin lining. Everyone from tanneries to shoe factories hate working with wild boar. This is a limited run. We won't make it again. But once you get into the boots, which we've done, it's gonna last you forever. Really cool. Links in the description below, and you'll never meet anyone else with a wild boar leather boot. At least, definitely not one that's lined with pigskin lining. All right, next up, this one is from all the way from Indonesia. So that is a very exciting hotbed of boot activity. If you check out my video, I actually went to Indonesia last year, and I visited some of the workshops there, and so you can see just why it's so special. They do hand lasting, hand welting, all that stuff is done by machine. But Indonesia, they've sort of preserved a lot of old-timey techniques from like Dutch colonization periods. Anyway, watch that video, it's really, really cool. And this is the brand, this is Midas Bootmaker. Midas is also by the guy who runs Winston. Winston is best known for their dressier boots, while Midas is more about casual stuff. And I haven't seen these yet, but this is my very first, if you can believe it, after like 7 years of making boot content, this is my first Cordovan boot. And why not go with green? So Cordovan is an extremely high-end material for boots. It's made, you can only get it from a small area at the base of a horse's tail. Also, it takes like 6 months to a year to make. The best Cordovan in the world is kind of universally considered to be Hawaiian in Chicago, or if you're a real boot nerd, Shinki Hikaku in Japan. This is Shinki Cordovan. This boot is called the Spalla boot. This is Shinki olive color, drum dyed calfskin lining, hand lasted, hand welted. All this takes a really long time to make. So it's got a 4 to 5 millimeter leather insole, also with a midsole and outsole. I really like leather outsoles if I can get my hands on. They're not super popular these days. I used to not like them when I started this channel, but I do really like them for the softness, the ground feel, that kind of stuff. And the heel is from Dr. Soul, which is really even geekier boot guy stuff, but boot guys, Dr. Soul is a brand in Taiwan. If you're really into boot guys, it's like the best sole. Nice unstructured toe as well. Thanks Midas Bootmaker for making me these. All right, this next brand is another one. So all of these boots so far, I've waited a good months and months and months, at least like 4 or 5 months. The boar one was over a year, maybe 2 years. This one also takes a long time to order, and this is from Russell Moccasin in Wisconsin. A little sticker there to add to my series of booty stickers on my computer. And this is Russell's, I think it's their most popular model, called the Backcountry. A Russell's a really interesting brand because I've known about them the whole time I've had this channel, but for most of this channel business's lifespan, they took a good year to make boots for you. It was a very kind of clunky operation, but they've got a new CEO in, Luke, who is really trying to modernize everything. And a lot of the boots now, these days, get made very quickly, or they've got a decent collection that are ready to go off the shelves. This one took a long time though, because I wanted to get this really cool Picos leather. This brand is kind of famously worn by Harrison Ford. Zach Galifianakis also wears them, not this exact boot, but still. Also like famous like old-timey pioneers, Wiley Post and Earl Schaefer wore them. And the big thing here is this is a genuine handstone moccasin construction. I won't get too far into it. I went to Rancourt factory in Maine and did a whole exploration of this way of making shoes. But basically the way this differs is while most shoes, the leather comes up over the top and stitched to the bottom, the difference in this kind of construction is it's like one piece of leather going underneath your foot and like kind of wrapping up over it and stitching here. So no seams and many people find it more comfortable. That's one reason. And it's also just like a vanishing art form in shoemaking. Another big thing here is that Russell is famous for their double and triple vamp construction. And back before we had Gore-Tex, this is one of the ways that we would make a boot just about as waterproof as possible. And they sent me like 400 words about why this leather is super, super tough. And I'm gonna ruin this video if I get into it too much. Anyway, a lot of cool stuff about this boot and it took forever to get here, so I'm excited. Now we got a gigantic American brand, Edmonds. I think there's a pretty good argument that Edmonds is like the biggest good shoe company. Like usually either the company's gigantic and the shoes are just okay, or they're small and really good. And Edmonds is like a really good balance. I don't know what is in this. I wrote to them because I'm doing like a winter boots video, and I was like, do you guys still make any boots that are lined with shearling wool? And they said we got a new one coming out. Let us send it to you. And I said, all right. Jesus Christ. Okay, all right. Alan Edmonds has like a better reputation as like business professional footwear kind of brand. Smart casual maybe. This is a pretty casual Western style side zip boot, which is lined with shearling wool. Shearling is like wool, but it has the leather on it as well. It's like the leather with the skin. And it's a million times warmer than wool, which is already very, very warm. All right, I guess I got some side zip Western boots for winter. What do they call this? The Tompkins. All right, the Tompkins has classic form and dependable functionality, but it's a vessel zipper design, Goodyear welted, so yep, durability, premium full grain leather. All right, I got some black jeans that these will go with. All right, I don't know why brands don't do more shearling lined boots. I've been like looking for a lot of them for this season because I wanted a good winter boots video. Next one, real quick. This is the Wolverine 1000 mile. This is the second video I ever did on the channel was the Wolverine 1000 mile. And it got really, really creasy and loose grainy. And Wolverine has been bought out by a large corporation that just loves sending out products. And I went to like a New York Fashion Week thing that had a bunch of Wolverine stuff there recently. And they said, would you like another pair of boots? And I said, I do need to do another review of Wolverine because again, it was the second video I ever did. And I was just a lot worse at reviewing boots back then. I knew a lot less about all this stuff. And I've been meaning to give this, I've been doing a lot of like kind of re-reviews. I did like a new Iron Ranger one. Yeah, I complained a lot about the leather sole in the last one, but what I didn't say is that they have a bunch of other soles now that you can pick if you don't like the leather sole. And number two, I really like leather soles now. It gets scratched up really quickly and then you get the grip, and there's a bunch of other benefits to leather soles that I'm not getting into now because this video is already very long, but Wolverine 1000 mile, one of the most recognizable American-made boots, and I'm pumped to wear these in again and give them another shot. All right, next up, I've got a twofer because Truman Boot Company in Oregon sent me the same boot in two different lasts. I guess I'll do a video comparing the two most popular lasts. They own their own factory and they do not pay any money to marketing guys like me. So that keeps the costs pretty low. I've never made a cent from Truman, but they're very cool boots. Yeah, so a lot of them are like $450-ish on average. And this is, I looked at Truman like years ago. I haven't gotten around to doing another video on them, and they've changed a lot about it, including the construction. They used to be stitched down, now they're Goodyear welts. Coach Rambler leather. You know, I guess I'll look at the other one as well, see how they compare. Here are the two lasts. All right, I asked Vince, the guy behind the company, what the difference is. The 79 last, which is this one. This is the most popular one. It's the most accommodating last to fit most foot shapes. While this one, this is the 20 last, has a tighter heel, a wider toe box, and a lightly sprung toe, which is kind of neat. Lately, I'm a really big fan of like wider toes, wider rounded toes on boots. So I think this is the one for me, especially because honestly, if I have the option of a toe cap or not, I go for no toe cap, which I handily have that option here. So yeah, the sprung toe, which is something I've always been kind of interested in. Normally that happens to my boots just by accident. If I don't leave shoe trees in them, then the leather eventually curls up the toe box like that. A purposely sprung toe, I haven't had. Anyway, it's a really cool brand. Again, the price is good because I don't make any money out of them, but they really stand out for the cool leathers. So this Coach Rambler, Rambler is like a waxed sort of suede, but it's so fleshy and thick. Check it out, you get veins on it. So it's like, it really looks like you carved this out of the side of an animal. They also have a bunch of other really cool leathers, like turquoise, Rambler as well, and they regularly come out with other ones like moose. There's a horse butt on there right now. Every season, there's like a good dozen new leathers that they haven't used before. The Coach Rambler is a mainstay. They got this like black brown wax flesh one as well. So those two are the most popular ones. And a big part of that is because as you wear them, the wax wears away, the boots get fuzzier, they change color, and they kind of reward you for putting the wear on them. All right, this is the last one. I'm very excited about this one. I'm just gonna show it to you before I tell you about it. If you like looking up things about shoes, you have probably come across the barefoot trend. There is a strong contingent of people that say you should not wear shoes, basically. You should go barefoot as much as you can. And there's a midway point because, you know, even though being barefoot is healthy, you can still step on glass and stuff. So I'm the newcomer to this space. I'm gonna learn more about it, but they basically try to have like a nice wide toe so your toes aren't cramped at all. You might not even realize that like your pinky's usually like hitting the side of the shoe. Not the case here. And they want to give you as much ground feel as possible, like really thin soles. Usually, just about every barefoot shoe out there is like a workout shoe or a sneaker. They're designed to be like as light as possible. Origo, they reached out to me and they were like, hey man, we're doing a barefoot heritage boot. I've been looking around for a while for like a brand doing barefoot boots so I can like dip my toe into it without going totally off brand and doing sneakers and stuff. This is the closest to a heritage, old-fashioned barefoot boot. So this is called the what's it called, the Adventurer boot, and it weighs next to nothing. This is made in Leon, Mexico, where I have visited. This is where the leather is from as well. It's like the leather making and shoe making capital of definitely Mexico, possibly like the Americas, North and South America put together. Like all the artisans are there. Let's see what you told me about it. It is lined with a textile mesh to make them softer and more absorbent of moisture. It's called strobel construction, which makes it, yeah, goddamn, very flexible. The sole is rubber mixed with agave fibers, very Mexican. Adding that in makes them decompose more easily, so that contributes to like the sustainability side that a lot of the barefoot guys like as well. And they say though that the boots can be resold by a good cobbler. That's what they say. I'm gonna ask one, but yeah, I mean it's stitched. I'm gonna get my scales. Hang on. Red Wings Iron Ranger, size 11. This is about 900 grams. Origo's barefoot boot, 335 grams. That is 1/3 the weight of a normal boot. So if you think boots too heavy, or you like barefoot stuff, yeah man, we're gonna try one of these out. That's my video as well. If you've got an extra pair of feet for me that I can borrow, please send them over because I need to wear in all these boots. I put links to all these in the description below if you want to learn more about the products, and subscribe as well for more stuff on casual durable stuff for men. That's the kind of stuff I like, and I'll catch you with the next one.